these record companies don't have the time or the energy to foster actual talent, so they're about sensationalism.
Who has who has time to pay somebody to be head of A&R and to work with artists and do interview prep? And
they have it.
Talk about the good doctor, man. He sat down with Kevin Hart on his interview series. Dre don't pop out too much. So I was actually pleasantly surprised when I saw him. I think it was on
that show's on Peacock, I believe.
I believe it is on Peacock. Interesting comments about the state of hip hop coming from him, which I actually think was worded perfectly, but we can read it and then see what you guys think. So he says, anybody that's talking about the state of hip hop right now, when you're talking about it from a negative place, sounds like somebody's effing grandfather. He would continue to say, it is what it is. Hip hop is evolving. If you don't like it, don't listen to it. You know what I'm saying? I'm keeping it all the way 100 with you. Some of the expletive, most of this expletive, I don't like. I don't listen to a lot of that expletive, but I'm not hating on it. I'm never going to hate on it.
Why?
What you mean?
Why?
Why say that, or why
shouldn't
not
you hate on stuff that sucks?
Yeah. I used to, but I had to stop, man, because it's too much energy.
Why? Because people look at you funny if you hate?
No, it's just I'd rather put the energy into something that I like.
I can agree with that.
I don't 100% believe you on that. Because
I used to be terrible.
If an album comes out, whether you like it or not, you're gonna make a statement about it on Facebook.
It depends on what the album is. Like Killer Mike, I'm gonna keep praising that because I think it's phenomenal.
But no, we're talking about what you hate though.
Not like I used to be bad. Like you won't see me. I don't even like. When's the last time I commented on? I can't even name half of the rappers. If we being honest, you know what I'm saying? Like I used to be.
Maybe you did get a little better.
Yeah, I used to point them out and be like, "Oh, this is bad and it's killing the culture." And I don't even care, bro. Like I can't control that.
I care to a certain extent.
Did you see what he said there?
What?
I don't even care.
Yeah.
So, what I would say to that, and I know this is getting sidetracked a little bit, but not really.
Okay.
Is that it's one thing to comment on something that like hits you,
right?
Than to go out of your way to comment on something.
Agree.
You know what I mean? Like I'm not going to listen to anything intentionally and be like, man, I can't wait to hate on this.
Right.
But if something crosses to me and then I am forced to share my opinion on it, I am not going to lie about what I feel about something simply because I don't want to be labeled a hater.
I like how you broke that down. If it comes situational, right? So you're speaking more situational. If it's within the midst of a conversation, something comes across your quote unquote desk or whatever, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Then we address it and then we tell our honest opinion about it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that. I'm just saying.
And if it comes across as hate, then okay.
Yeah, I don't care about that part because one of my favorite bars ever is Commons. If I don't like it, I don't like it. Don't mean that I'm hating.
Right. I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
Hate takes a lot of energy, and to just say like, nah, this is nothing for me. That's not a lot of energy to me. It's only if I dwell on it.
Okay.
That's the way I look at it. I don't know.
What you think about what he said,
Well,
Terry?
I mean, it can be taken a few ways because we can say it's evolving or we can say it's devolving.
I think it's devolving.
Because when we just like the segment we just had earlier when we're talking about
Shorty Red. Is that her name?
Scary Red.
What is her name?
I don't forget. Scary. I like Scary Red.
And Suki, are they really evolving the culture of hip hop? No, they're not. That's why I hate generalizations. We can stick to saying that we don't like this, not be considered haters, or somebody that's saying, you don't like the way hip hop is going, it's got to evolve. Well, it's not evolving, it's devolving in a sense if you're not up on what you need to be up on. And unfortunately, the stuff you need to be up on isn't the stuff that's placed at the forefront of hip hop for the masses to see. People like us, we can find that. We know what to listen to. We know where it's at if we need to find it. But as a whole, as a collective, and as the most popular version of what we call hip hop,
right,
it is not the evolution of it, in my personal opinion.
Exactly.
It's just not.
It's not where it came from.
No, it's not.
And I don't think
because they don't even respect where it was at or how it got to where it's at. So how do you call that an evolution?
I don't think what you just said, there's nothing about what you just said I would deem as hate. I just think it's a fair assessment built around your personal opinion as to how things have de-evolved. Like, there's nothing that's hate. But I'm not saying that you care. I'm just saying the way that you presented it, there's nothing that says hate about that.
So I pulled up the definition for devolve.
Okay.
Be split into, which goes to your point, right? Mm-hmm. We're splitting. It's like it's splitting here. One form is going this way, And then the stuff that we still think that there's plenty of stuff that is evolving continually.
Agreed.
But a lot of the stuff in the mainstream is it's going some other place. And it went to pop culture, and now pop culture is evolving, if you will, into whatever it's evolving into right now. And it's different.
I just like the reason I like how he worded this outside of the conversation about evolving versus devolving. I just like that it doesn't sound like it's not get off my lawn-ish. It's just I don't take it that way. I really didn't. That's why I liked how he worded it.
But
you see what I'm saying?
But I get what you're saying, but at the same time, I guess the angle that I'm going to come from, and maybe it's just, you can say it's old head stuff. People can say that, but it's
that's cool.
But to me, it kind of seems like it's just like the safe thing to say.
It is. That's exactly what it is. Because look what he's calling it.
With
what you had to pretty much censor yourself from saying is what he's calling it. Yeah. But then he says, but I'm not hating on it.
Right.
But you just called it poop.
Yeah.
I like
essentially.
Poop. Yeah.
No, you called it poop because that's what it is.
Right.
But I'm not hating on it. Because everybody likes to take a good poop.
Yeah.
Hey.
Because if we look beyond the words and beyond what he's saying, like beyond what he's like physically saying with his mouth, he's still saying the same thing.
Yeah,
you can absolutely say that he's hating, quote unquote, with that.
He's just not sticking his middle finger up while he's saying it.
Is it fair to say that his assessment of poop could just be looked at as his opinion?
It is his opinion.
All right,
that's just the fact of the matter. That is his opinion. I just feel
but you feel like he's basically saying it without saying it. And it's the safest route. Is that it's
the safest route because he also in the same conversation that he was having with him, and he took another safe approach. He could have worked with Michael Jackson and Prince, and he didn't do it.
He did say that
because he took the safe route. He said he didn't know what to do if he were to work with him. But why not try?
I would have jumped out there. I don't care. Maybe if I'd have failed, and it would have been recorded, and that's all right.
But back to the poop. He's absolutely hating on it.
Okay.
He's just making it sound better. He made it sound fly.
Yeah.
So that he's not losing fans, so to speak, or whatnot. He's treading lightly.
And he
you think Dre's worked?
No, he doesn't
think Dre's worried about fans?
He doesn't want to seem old. But
do y'all think he's worried about that as Dr. Dre now?
Apparently he is.
Yeah.
I mean, because we can literally watch this. You know what I mean?
No,
no, because I remember the thing is you'll get a different reaction when you ask from Snoop, because like he said, I remember him being on one of his shows, and he said, "Man, they tried to have me rapping like the Meek." He was like making fun, and he's like, "Man, I don't rap like that." Like he was saying, I don't think he was mocking them, but he was like, "What that is, that's not what I do."
That. Yeah, I don't do that.
But I think also, man, there is look, a lot of people in hip hop, they don't want to seem old, even though they are old. And Dr. Dre's older than me, so I know he's old. And it's okay. The overall culture is evolving to a certain point. The pop culture part of, because it used to be there was a certain level of flyness to it. Whether you didn't like the puffy, the bling era, there was a certain level of flyness to it. Now it's almost like how low down and raggedy can we be and still, make it on TV and get our money. And I don't care what you say. People are like, oh, you can't, they want to talk bad about these women, but like, who are doing these records, and we talked a little bit about it earlier, but I don't believe this is like, like I said, they're offering artists and they're taking the 50 pieces of silver to get on and say anything just that makes the culture look raggedy.
What can make me famous with the least amount
of work,
effort and work involved? Whatever the formula is to get to that path so I can pop off and get this bag, that's the route I'll take.
Yeah, that's what's most important nowadays.
Yeah, it's about the bag.
Because these record companies don't have the time or the energy to foster actual talent, so they're about sensationalism.
Who has time to pay somebody to be head of A&R and to work with artists and do interview prep and?
They have it.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
It's capitalism.
Yeah.
Thank you. I stand corrected. You're right.
That's why everything goes back to capitalism.
I stand corrected. You're right.
It's just certain people want to make more money.
Yep.
You're right.
So they rely on you to create your own buzz now, and now they're just picking from that rather than seeing something in somebody and like, let's build on that and see what we get.
You got me there because they definitely have it.
They got it.
It's all bottom line, man.
Look, when I was working in non-for-profit fundraising, one of the things that we talked about, what is the cost of raising $1? Okay, where can we cut corners here? As far because you don't want to spend 97 cents to make $1.
Right.
Okay, and so if these entertainment companies across the board, we talked about, the actors, and then we're talking about musicians. If you can find a way to only spend 10 cents to make $1,
right,
then that's what these companies are going to do. They don't care about the content. They don't care about how it may be hurting the culture
because it's not their culture.
That's true. That's why I say you give. I'm just using it because we talked about her earlier. Sukihana, you give her this many pieces of silver to go over and say wild stuff on TV that's free. She's never going to get on a talk show. You don't want to pay for that, but you'll let her go as soon as she gets off the plane in England. Say the most disgusting, degenerate things.
Come on, man.
And then all of a sudden, then it makes it to the shade room, and 2 million people see it.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
And so when it's time for her to put out her song of whatever goofy foolishness that she puts out, then it'll automatically have that many more impressions.
Trash. It's trash. And you can say it and feel good about what you're saying.